as you guys know, we're here 5 weeks deep into Chapter 2, Season 3 of Fortnite, with a lot of changes happening over the course of the last few weeks, completing challenges, getting free rewards, unlocking Aquaman pretty much completely at this point, and as well as slowly but surely the water level receding, which is now allowing certain parts of the map to be uncovered and accessible yet again that wasn't accessible before because of the water level. But I've been thinking about a few things that happened from last season to this season here, like how we had two factions allegedly fighting each other, the end of the Season 2 event for the device, or what people were calling the Doomsday event, and the things that occurred there, how maybe the factions that were fighting were actually just a decoy because of our boy here, Nate Hill, Midas, believed we were in a simulation and actually tried to create the device to break through to what they're calling the real world, where we actually met Agent Jonesy, where for the first time in Fortnite Battle Royale history, in cinematics anyway, an actual character spoke with real words instead of that mumbo jumbo that the henchmen typically say. But aside from that, let's get back into talking about those factions. The factions being Team Ghost and Team Shadow, and how we had the option as the player to decide what side we wanted our Battle Pass skins and agents to become, again either being on Team Ghost or Team Shadow. But after looking back during the season, unlocking selectable styles for our Battle Pass characters this season, and then looking back into what happened in Chapter 2 Season 3 reveal trailer, I realized something. It really didn't matter what faction we decided to give our Chapter 2 Season 2 characters, because here in Chapter 3, it seems we get to see sort of what side some of those characters chose for themselves. And in this case, for today's video, we're going to talk about Brutus, and perhaps what exactly happened to Brutus after the events of the flood from the end of Season 2 and moving here onto Season 3. So prior to the events leading up to Chapter 2 Season 3, we should talk about what we know about Brutus up until now, how he's been portrayed through the season, and hopefully that will all tie into what has happened to him in this current season. So I did some backlogging and went back into the Chapter 2 Season 2 launch trailer and found something very interesting. Although within that season we were given the option to choose which side all the Battle Pass characters, including Brutus, could be in, for Brutus in particular, perhaps it didn't really matter in a Fortnite story or lore-wise, because in the top secret launch trailer, again, which is basically the Chapter 2 Season 2 launch trailer, we get introduced to Brutus in about 30 seconds in, but he's already wearing his Shadow outfit, which means he's already working under Team Shadow. And a little later in the trailer, we see him and several other of the characters that were contacted by Midas from the beginning of the trailer in a meeting room, and there, Brutus is also there, but still remaining in his Shadow outfit. But the most confusing part about this is even though he is in his Shadow outfit, the headquarters where all of the characters currently are show that behind Midas and Meowskulls is a giant ghost faction symbol. So does this potentially mean that Brutus has been working as a double agent the whole time, working for both Shadow but really under Team Ghost with Midas and Meowskulls and the others this entire time? I'm not so sure. But moving into the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass gameplay trailer, we get introduced to our Battle Pass characters for the first time in more, and we can also see Brutus is there yet again in his Shadow outfit, unlike the rest of the gang, where they are all in their default outfits. Now, something that's very interesting about this as well, as continuing with the trailer and looking back to what we know from the launch trailer, we see Meowskulls on the yacht as the boss you fight in this area, and his henchmen are all white cloaked, meaning Meowskulls is working under Team Ghost rather than Team Shadow. And on the yacht as well, there's a giant gold statue of Midas there, which can confirm to us that from the launch trailer, it wasn't any coincidence that there was a Ghost logo in the boardroom with Midas, Meowskulls, and the others, including Brutus, despite Brutus also still being in his Shadow outfit. But shortly after this scene, we get to see Brutus yet again, but he's gonna be flipping a coin while wearing his default outfit instead, and after which we see two outfits of Brutus of what he could potentially be looking like if he joined either the Team Ghost or Team Shadow. However, take note that Brutus was also the boss of a location just like Meowskulls was, which was the Grotto, which is actually where this coin flip is taking place. But alongside that, behind him in the scene, we can see that there are two henchmen wearing all black, and these henchmen belong to Team Shadow. So the scene that we're actually seeing after the coin flip, we know that him wearing the Ghost outfit on the yacht couldn't be real, and that the Brutus wearing the Shadow outfit, as we've seen him multiple times in a row now, as well as that he's actually in front of of some of the same doors in the grotto and is in fact the boss of the grotto, confirms that he has been teamed under Team Shadow, despite potentially being a double agent that's really working with Midas and Meowskulls within Team Ghost. After this, the trailer voiceover gives us a very interesting line and scene to match, stating,
"You'll also embark on limited time operations that will change the fate of the island forever."
With this scene, you will be able to see Brutus riding with Tina, dropping in at the shark location, as well as that he's in his shadow outfit, as we've managed to see many times before, and shortly after that, sneaking up and popping out from the boxes behind these ghost henchmen, we see Brutus on the right pop out of the box, still in his shadow outfit, but also we see the leader of Ghost, Midas, but now in his shadow outfit, which could lead to believe that the way that the voiceover stated, there will be limited time operations that will change the fate of this island forever, meaning Midas and Brutus eventually turn against their own Team Ghost and begin to work for Team Shadow. From that point up until now, there wasn't much information that I could find about Brutus through the trailers or things happening in-game that showed any indication about what happened with Brutus while he was working with Midas in Team Ghost, while also still being a double agent and working for Team Shadow, as he's mostly ever been seen wearing his shadow outfit for the most part. But there must have been something that was happening, because looking back into the Chapter 2 Season 3 launch trailer, we meet Brutus again, but in a slightly different outfit here. So in this trailer, it's the aftermath and sometime after the device event that happened at the end of the Season 2 that caused the flood across the Fortnite map. A little after Midas gets eaten up here by a shark, we see Meowskulls alive and well, fishpole riding a shark, and we're not sure if that's the same shark that actually ate Midas, but that's really not important right now. But we can see that he hasn't allegedly changed sides, because he still pretty much looks the same as he was from the previous season, so it's safe to say that he's still probably working under Team Ghost. But as this goes on, we pass by a floating area which has a few of our Battle Pass characters from the season on there, as well as one that's currently an unreleased skin, at least at the time of me making this video. So from the left to the right, we've got Kit, the Eternal Knight, Siona, Ocean, the currently unreleased Wake Rider skin, and Scuba Jonesy. Now within this moment, we get three big important pieces of information. The first one being Ocean and Brutus are about to fight. The second being Brutus is now rocking his ghost outfit rather than the shadow outfit that he had been using all throughout the last season of Season 2. And 3, he ultimately loses this fight to Ocean. But what does this all tell us? Well, because of the end events in Season 2, we know almost the entire map becomes flooded, which also means inevitably the grotto, which Brutus was based at, became flooded as well, so he no longer has a place to run to or a place to call home. But also perhaps because it was flooded, like all the other headquarters as well, like the shark, the rig, and the agency, Brutus no longer had to pretend to home himself with Team Shadow, as technically no one really had a place to call their own anymore because of what Midas did and caused at the end of the season. Because we know Brutus worked with Midas in Team Ghost and no longer needed to keep pretending to be associated with Team Shadow, we can see here in Season 3, he decided to turn back to his original side, Team Ghost. However, in the scene, it seems that Brutus is fighting over authority to become the boss of the area against Ocean, which would later be called the Flotilla, but ultimately ends up losing to Ocean, as we saw from the trailer. And in the game itself, as every time you actually go to the Flotilla, you'll meet Ocean as the boss of this location, as Brutus was the boss of his previous location, the Grotto. But not only did Brutus lose his place as being the boss of the Flotilla location, he also lost his helmet, which distinctly signified he was working with Ghost. As we can see from the trailer, Ocean hits Brutus with an uppercut, popping that helmet off and ultimately having that as her prize, which also later becomes a part of her extra selectable styles when you guys unlock her with the Battle Pass. So if you guys actually go over and look at Ocean's selectable styles, not only did she win Brutus's helmet and wear it, she also cut out and redesigned it to fit her own style, while also signifying that even though they're both from Team Ghost, she's the one that will be the leader and have the high authority, not only over the Flotilla, but over Brutus as well. So what happened to Brutus? Well, people have been speculating that even though he lost to Ocean as the leader of the Flotilla, he still remains within Team Ghost and is taking refuge somewhere within the Flotilla due to his original home, the Grotto, being completely flooded over. And another theory states that because he lost to Ocean, he was subjected to becoming a regular Ghost henchman working under Ocean and protecting the Flotilla with a replacement helmet that pretty much just makes him look like the rest of the basic Ghost henchmen due to Ocean taking his original helmet away. But I would like to just believe that Brutus is most likely just stationed somewhere within the Flotilla. But if you guys have actually been trying to pay attention to anything everything you know about the Fortnite lore in any way possible, picking up clues and hints across the map, the loading screens, recently released character skins and variants, you'll know that at the moment, Team Ghost, also known as the EGO, is currently losing its fight against Team Shadow, which is also known as Team Alter or ALTER, and currently Team Ghost or EGO owns 2 locations on the Fortnite map, the Flotilla and the Yacht, whereas Team Shadow or Team Alter own pretty much everything else on the map in one way or another. But before wrapping up this video, there was one more strange thing that I found that kind of makes you wonder exactly what is going on with Brutus and if there's more relation to Shadow than we really know about. So obviously you guys know that what it seemed like Brutus was working with Shadow or Alter for a long time up until this season where he finally disbanded away from them and continued his roots with Ghost or EGO. However, if you take a look at yet another Battle Pass character here within this season, Jules, you'll notice that one of her selectable styles is actually of her wearing Brutus's mask, styling one ponytail instead of her typical 2 ponytails, or a mask that just happens to be very similar to Brutus that would better fit her than Brutus's size, because obviously Brutus is a big boy. But whichever way you put it, we know something is happening with Brutus for sure, because not only does he lose his ghost mask to Ocean, but somehow it also seems like he potentially lost his shadow mask to Jules. So maybe in the launch trailer there was a lot more that we didn't see that actually happened. Maybe Brutus tried to become the leader and the boss of the Authority location and then lost it to Jules, which led him to losing his shadow mask, where then he ultimately decided to return the ghost to become the leader of the Flotilla, but then losing to Ocean upon arrival as well, and then losing his ghost mask there as well. But that isn't actually the strange thing that I was mentioning about earlier, because the strange thing is, if you visit the Authority, which is the renamed location of the agency, which used to be home for the Ghost but now homed by the Shadow team as well as bossed by Jules, you'll actually find 3 different styled pictures of Brutus displayed throughout the Authority. One picture is a black and white line stylized image of him, what seems to be kind of like his mask or his skull-like feature from his time being in Shadow or Alter, and another image is one similar to his 2 sides from the Spy Games event, where it shows him being from either side, but specifically leaning more towards Team Shadow, showing half of his face with the mask on and his shadow mask, his other dual wielding pickaxes, and his outfits. And the last picture of Brutus you can find in the Authority is literally a full portrait of Brutus, head to toe, in his full Shadow or Alter outfit. So if Brutus was working with Midas and Meowskulls under Ghost while being also a double agent for Team Shadow, what truly happened in his time between Season 2 and Season 3, and what was really going on between Team Ghost or EGO and Shadow or Alter? And why does Jules have his mask? And why do we have pictures inspired of Brutus displayed across several floors of the Authority? Could Brutus possibly have a deeper connection with Shadow than we really expected? Or maybe because Brutus already knew of Jules before Season 3, or maybe Brutus did so much work in his time that he was looked up to so much that Jules now looks up to him as maybe a mentor or an idol. And perhaps a line that we had from the Chapter 2 Season 2 Battle Pass gameplay trailer, where they made the line, "You'll also embark on a limited time operation that will change the fate of the island forever," and the scene where we saw Midas turn into Team Shadow as well as Brutus there still being in his Shadow outfit, could be something about what is going on and related to why he is pretty much renowned in this area and having pictures of him in the Authority. But that is something we're gonna have to wait and see as the story continues to develop here on Fortnite. Hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if there's any other stories, lore, and more that you would like me to look into and cover for you guys, just let me know down in the comments below. As I've been doing research on Brutus, I've been finding myself learning more and more things about things that were happening behind the scenes, and all of it is becoming so much more interesting. I really wish that Fortnite would just do a lot more lore work instead of just kind of like random event things that don't really matter too much. So anyway, I'd love to do more of these videos, and if you guys enjoy hearing me go on and on about what I found and researched and particular topics that you guys have in mind, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys do enjoy this video though and want to see more, make sure you guys drop a like on this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on post notifications here on the channel by hitting that bell icon next to the subscribe button. That way you guys don't miss out when I upload a video here next on the channel, as well as if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys follow me over on Twitter to stay up to date with everything going on regarding my videos, my channel, my streams, myself, and of course, speaking about the streams, I've been streaming a lot over on Twitch at twitch.tv/FlipArtzLive. The link will be down in the description below, so be sure to follow me over there as well if you guys want to talk and chat with me live, watch me play Fortnite and other games as well, and just have an awesome time talking to me and the rest of our awesome Arts fam community. But with that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Catch you on the flip side. Arts out.